Bruh, this isn't. If I wasn't seeing this, bruh, I gotta cover this. Just when you go, all right, cool, I guess it's over, it gets crazier. Like I said, I've been covering this entire case. This is to me, I mean, it should be to everybody, the most important case in hip hop, the most important appeal. He already lost because it's really the battle for hip hop, for creative expression, for artistic expression. Ladies and gentlemen, we got an update on the Drake UMG case that he already lost and he's trying to appeal right now, which is crazy that appealing a lawsuit as a part of your rollout is nasty work, and you would not believe the new excuse. You wouldn't believe it. Dog, they're blaming Tupac. Yeah, you think I'm joking, don't you? Let's go. Shout out to the Ville, man.
It looks like Drake's appeal has finally updated, and Drake has filed his final brief
Ain't
in the
no
Not
way.
Like Us appeal, and where he challenges the dismissal. And this is what people have been stressing about this case and why this case is bad for hip hop. It's not only because he decided to sue after a rap battle, but because of the fact that he is challenging the First Amendment, he is challenging human rights when he does so. In this final brief, it's a straight up reminder why this.
Not human rights. They're not human rights. They're American rights because they're not the same rights everywhere. You're not just given those rights at birth everywhere. And I think sometimes as Americans we be forgetting that, or people in America we forget that. But no, there are definitely countries where, and that's why this Drake thing is such a bad thing, is because that is what America stands on. We do not want to become one of those countries where you cannot say certain things against the king or the royals or the sheiks or these people without fear of getting jail time or beheaded or something. You know what I mean? Or it's a piece of Khashoggi. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't ever want it to go to that place, and that's what Drake is hurting, is these freedoms that are so important to this country. So that's just a little. It's not even an important thing to change, but you know, a little word. Oh, by the way, hip hop is a sport. I am giving, first of all, shout out to everybody who's been grabbing them the last week. It's been absolutely crazy the amount of people that just grabbed this. This is more than merch, it's a mission statement. So, link is in the pinned comment. Go grab this. It's a great, great, great way to support this channel. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button because statistics show about only 20% of the people watching this are subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, bonnet screw here. All right, we got that out the way. Let's go.
Lawsuit was bad in the first place. When you hear and see Drake argue in this case, trying to get this appeal overturned, it is as clear as day that this lawsuit is no good for hip hop at all, for rap, for the battle, for rap battle, anything. This is the problem right here.
Speech.
And why it's always strange to hear people say that they need Drake to save hip hop when in fact he is the one sabotaging it, ruining it. And we're going to see why when we look at him challenge this appeal. The defamation claim should have been allowed to proceed. The district court dismissed Drake's defamation claim based solely on its determination of the recording, video, and image contained statements of opinion rather than actionable statements of fact. That decision turned on context, but the court committed multiple errors in considering the relevant context, misapplying judicial notice to draw inferences against Drake, replacing the reasonable listener with the rap aficionado, ignoring the broader social context, failing to recognize UMG's republication.
The headassery of this entire thing, what Drake's people are insinuating right now is you have to be a rap aficionado to know that rappers use hyperbole. That rap is figurative language, figurative talking. So Drake's team, when a rapper be like, my gun's so big I gotta get in it to shoot it, they say that the average person truly believes that this nigga has a Gundam in his backyard. What? When 50 said, we ride around with guns the size of Lil Bow Wow, they really said most people thought this nigga had Shad Moss with a handle in the back of his Isuzu Jeep. Like, what is y'all, like, come on, man. You got to insult the intelligence of so many people to have this even keep going. It's insane. And what you are attempting to do is say that the court was wrong, which is insane because it's like, no, they weren't.
To different audiences and effectively creating a special rule that rap diss tracks are a defamation-free zone. UMG doubles down on those errors and rewrites the amended complaint to boot. This court should.
It's not a special rule. Actually, it is. It's called the rights that protect artistic expression. They've been around for a long time. It's like, imagine a Canadian that's doing this against American law. A Canadian that might set a precedent for American law. Ain't that Nobody finds that crazy. How is that even legal, nigga? Like,
verse. Now it's funny because every time I read some shit like this, I always think to myself, I thought Drake studied rap battles for a living. I thought he knew how rap battles work. You diss a person, you say the most disrespectful shit to a person. That's how rap battles work. And everybody knew that this was a battle. Everybody knew that this was a beef. Whether you're a big hip hop fan or a casual listener.
And then you also said you were gonna slit his throat with the rate. Like, that's what I'm saying is Drake's team is also insulting the intelligence of the court, insulting the intelligence of hip hop, insulting the intelligence of everybody paying attention. Because what they're also telling you is, whatever point that we prove with Kendrick's lyrics, do not apply that to Drake. It's like it's literally burning your dynamite stick at both ends, because it's like, so no, the more you prove, even if you prove something with Kendrick, how does that not just apply to what Drake did? That's the whole part. It's like, you cannot sue for in a rap battle you participated in.
You know that these guys don't like each other, and what they were doing was talking shit about each other. You don't have to be a super fan to know that these guys were going at each other like that. This is a weak argument if I ever saw one. Drake stated a claim that UMG defamed him by publishing and promoting the recording, which was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual allegations that Drake is a criminal PDF. The recording calls Drake a certified PDF, includes lyrics that say Drake, I hear you like him young, and trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor, and warns that Drake has got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. A reasonable listener could, and countless did, construe the recording as factual, asserting that Drake S.A.'s youngins. Entertainment.
Well, I mean, it couldn't have been you telling him as Tupac, as Robo Tupac, to tell them that you like young girls. Like, I can't believe we really here, bro.
Industry insiders and media experts on Hollywood affairs likewise understood the recording's core PDF message and debated its consequences. And the image in the video reinforces those factual assertions by using actual SO notification symbols and ST imagery. The broader social context also supports this view. That the public could and did take the core assertions of PDF seriously cannot come as a surprise to UMG. Unlike impromptu statements made at a public hearing or in the live rap battle, UMG's publication of the recording, as well as the image and video, was the product of some deliberation, and thus more likely to signal assertions of fact. Indeed, Drake alleged that UMG had ultimate control to review and approve the recordings to eliminate defamation or libel. That process.
So what happens as you say Kendrick's kids are not his, as you say his girl, the mother of his children, cheated on him, as you say that his manager and one of his closest people is the father of his children, as you say you gonna slit somebody's throat, as you say what is all the things you said about Rick Ross, as you say that he is, as you called Joe Budden a de-esser, as you, this is nutty work, bro.
This reflects that UMG knew the recording would be subjected to close, careful, and repeated listening over time, which is especially true given that various fora in which it was republished, including to a global audience at the Super Bowl. You see, this is the problem. Drake is claiming that UMG had control and that they were able to review and approve, not like us, before putting it out. And what he's basically saying here, or what his lawyers are saying, is that UMG should have reviewed the record and not put it out, which only tells.
And do you also realize that Drake's team is essentially asking for UMG to okay records for defamation before he's literally trying to ruin art? Like, he wants another layer of checks. There's sample clearance checks. There's I guess just overall checks to see if they want to support the record. It's a hit. And then we got another new layer called the Drake rule, the Aubrey law, where now they got to check and see if anybody gets offended. And if there's any type of somebody might get offended, we nuke the record.
To me, that he wanted UMG to work in his favor. He didn't think that they were going to let them rock the way that they did. He didn't think that they were just going to let them put records out, no matter what the context was. In other words, he's saying, how could you let him do this to me? I thought I was your golden boy. Why would you let him destroy me on a record? Why would you even approve of this? The whole time, the way that UMG explains this is that if we're going to publish records for you, we have to publish records for him. Exactly. It doesn't make sense to block one and not block the other, especially if you guys are going at it with each other. Kendrick isn't the only one that published these records. Drake was the one to put them on streaming services too. So this is another weak argument. The image looks like a screenshot from citizens showing SO gathered at Drake's Toronto mansion. Indeed, people understood the image as supporting the recording's PDF allegations. The image below is a literal map of Drake's Toronto home, where vigilantes arrived to search for suspected predators or endangered youngins. So now Drake is saying that vigilantes went to his house. That is hilarious, bro. He said
Niggas a Daredevil pulled up and Bullseye.
Batman went to his house after the Not Like Us record. I don't know, man. That is pretty funny. Drake is trying to say that Not Like Us caused people to go to his house and make sure that there wasn't any SOs there. That is hilarious, bro, because we all know. Let's just be honest here. Even if there was vigilantes going to Drake's house because of the cover art of Not Like Us, it's not like they were going to be able to go inside the house or do anything. Drake's home is covered with security. So the fact that he's trying to act like people were trying to run up in his home and try to stop crime is pretty hilarious, bro. We know that nobody was going to be able to do that. The gated community that he has, the tall ass gate around his house, all of the security, it's hard to believe that vigilantes were showing up and trying to stop crime there. I don't know, man. It sounds ridiculous to me. The Emetic complaint and reality tell a different story. Of all songs published during the rap beef, the recording is the only one that broke through the noise and achieved cultural ubiquity. The second most popular song had 4.1% of the recording's views. OB 2829, and the recording was repeatedly republished in context far removed from the rap battle, including the largest Super Bowl audience in history, 133.5 million. Yeah. That's right. You say it loud and you say it proud. The largest Super Bowl in audience history. Don't you forget that. I love that Drake's lawyer is saying that and admitting that in Drake's defense. I mean, it is pretty cool for them to admit that he had the largest Super Bowl. Yeah, Drake's lawyer is saying that, bro. I don't even think Drake likes hearing that. UMG improperly relies on material outside of the Emetic complaint to rebuke Drake's allegations. The district court erred in considering extra record materials to draw inferences against Drake's well-pleaded allegation. Those materials provided the only evidence supporting the court's articulation of an unduly broad context. The entire rap battle, thus, rather than assess how reasonable listener would understand the recording, the court looked to how rap superfan might have done so. The district court's consideration of material outside the pleadings that was not attached to the complaint, incorporated by reference or integral to the complaint, required attention to material would understand the recording. The court looked to how rap superfan might have done so.
Material outside the pleading that was not attached to the complaint.
The district court's consideration of material outside the pleadings that was not attached to the complaint, incorporated by reference or integral to the complaint, required it to convert the motion into a summary of judgment. Its failure to do so is reversible error. That rules exist for good reason. The court precluded Drake from rebuting its and UMG's unreasonable inferences. This error is especially stark with respect to tailor-made freestyle, which was not mentioned in the amended complaint, only publicly available for 1 week, and whose contested lyrics are not even in Drake's voice. Oh my God. So you mean to tell me that he's going to say that it wasn't my voice that said it, it was Tupac's voice that said it? That
was the part I was waiting for. Y'all saw me scrambled. I was trying to see, man, does he get to it? Because I wanted, because there was that literal one more time, ladies and gentlemen. The Ville, please.
You mean to tell me that he's going to 1 week and respect to tailor-made freestyle, which was not mentioned in the UMG's unreasonable inferences. This error is especially stark with respect to tailor-made freestyle, which was not mentioned in the amended complaint, only publicly available for 1 week, and whose contested lyrics are not even in Drake's voice. Oh my God. So you mean to tell me that he's going to say that it wasn't my voice that said it, it was Tupac's voice that said it? That is the weakest argument I've ever heard on this fucking planet, bro. Drake made the song and used
Tupac made me do it. Bro, that's the final level of Karen. Dressing up as a black person, this is literally what some racist people do. Wearing blackface, going and committing crimes or doing stuff and then saying a black person did it, or blaming an imaginary black person. This is stuff that racist white people do. Well, racist people, it's not just white people, do all the time. So you're telling me you wrote these lyrics, you rapped these lyrics, you decided to make it Tupac saying it with AI, and now you're about to say that Tupac did it? It wasn't even Drake's voice. Listen to what precedents are you setting? Because now you're trying to set a precedent where you could detach AI from the person, an AI filter from the person doing the AI. Saying the actual thing. You know what precedent that could set? So now you can do something as somebody and go, it wasn't me, it was that person. What? And then they say, well, you brought up tailor-made completely destroys our entire, everything destroys our entire case, but this definitely annihilates our case. So let's pretend like you shouldn't even look at that. It wasn't even in Drake's voice. So what are you insinuating? Pac did say, even the cops trying to sue me. So what can I do but stay true, sipping 22s of brewing now? And yeah, Lobry Graham is basically 5-0. So damn. Pac ain't even alive. Tupac Amaru Shakur died in 1997. That boy's still getting brought up in court cases. Ain't that boy? I can't even listen to the rest
AI Tupac voice. He is responsible for that record. He is going to blame a dead man and say that he's the one that said it, not me? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, bro. You know you made the song. I didn't say it. Tupac said it. What the fuck are you saying, bro?
I'm gonna just keep reading this. And he said, "The error is stark, especially stark with respects to tailor-made freestyle, which was not mentioned in the amended complaint, only publicly available for 1 week, and whose contested lyrics are not even in Drake's voice." Oh my God! Despite this, the court found that a reasonable listener would have understood that PDF allegations as a callback to Taylor Made. Yes, a reasonable person would think Drake pretending to be Tupac, telling Kendrick to talk about the PDF stuff is a call, and Kendrick talking about it would be a callback. What else would it be? Anyway.